everyone, Black Witch Diver here, Lucifer and Witch of the Left Hand Path and Occult Educator. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to anyone new here. I post occult related content twice a week on a Wednesday and Saturday at 8 PM UK time. So if the occult is one of your passions or interests, please consider subscribing to my channel. So I'm sorry I've been away for a week or two. If you've been following my socials, you'll know that I had a pretty nasty kidney infection. I still have it, but I'm no longer absolutely wiped out by it. My temperature has gone down and I'm on my third round of antibiotics now, which seems to be doing the job. So I'm feeling considerably better. This is the first day in like 2 weeks I've actually done my hair and put makeup on, so that feels really good. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back into a usual routine and not being on the couch in agony all day every day. So yeah, no, it's been absolute hell, but yeah, just glad I'm almost out the other side now. And thank you to everyone who's been expecting something from me, whether it's a reading or a report or anything like that. Thank you for your patience with me and my recovery process. I really appreciate it. So today's video, I've decided to finally do a video talking about my experience with Lucifer. It's a video I've been putting off just because I feel like there's this thing I get right. I don't know if other occultists get this. If you're an occultist, let me know. An occultist that speaks about their knowledge and experience and makes content on it in particular. I'm hesitant to make videos about things that I feel like I don't have enough information on, and it's not like I don't have experience and knowledge of Lucifer, extensively so I do, but because these things are never ending in terms of like what you can uncover, I always feel the need to wait before I speak on things because there's going to be things inevitably to add down the line. This is the issue that I'm having with the book I'm writing at the moment. So I'm writing a book on the Goetia, and it's basically covering my experience of working with all of the demons of the Goetia, right? But because through this practice we're never going to stop learning and uncovering, it's sort of like, when do I actually release this thing? When is it enough? So I get the same kind of thing when I talk about things such as Lucifer, but where I'm at now, it's just sort of like, just talk about it and then you can do another video later when more is revealed. So that's where I'm at today. But before I get into that, a few announcements. There's not a whole lot to announce really. Obviously I've been ill, so not a lot has gone on. But as for the group rituals, these are now members only. So they are access for members only. Only members can take part, and the group ritual is included within the membership. So that actually means that you're getting the group ritual at a very, very reduced price now, and you're also getting the other benefits of being a member. So if you'd like to take part actually bi-monthly in the group rituals, consider joining the memberships. Please do not join through my YouTube. Please join via the website. Thank you very much. And the clearance sale, almost everything is gone now. Still some mystery boxes left, so get on those if you'd like one, because once they're gone, they're gone. And Initiation Infernal has officially started. We had our first class, not last week, the week before. Unfortunately, I had to miss the class that took place on Saturday because I was very, very ill. But the first class was amazing. I enjoyed it so much, and thank you to those who have joined Initiation Infernal. It's so wonderful to have you here. If you would still like to get involved in Initiation Infernal, I'm going to leave the registration open for the first 4 weeks. So you have another 3 weeks, I think, because I'm not counting the week that I was ill. You have another 3 weeks to get involved in it if you would like to, if you feel that, you know, this is something that you want to get involved in. Obviously everything that you have missed is already recorded, and you know, we can just pick up with where we're at. So that is still open for registration for any latecomers. So into today's video, working with Lucifer, my experience. So interestingly, I find that people that want to, you know, kind of move into left-hand path stuff, and you know, I've chosen that as that path, and also people that are very interested in demonology. Lucifer's kind of one of those that you know, people are really drawn to working with. Obviously he's kind of top dog, so it's understandable. Lilith as well, so it's always kind of like Lucifer and Lilith that people are like, you know, leaning towards. Like those are the ones that people really gravitate towards, and it's understandable why, right? For me it wasn't the case. Yeah, I always had Lucifer's sigil, I'd always light him candles, I'd always make him offerings, etc. But actually working with him, I didn't jump into that straight away. The first demon I ever worked with was Astaroth, and I still work very regularly with Astaroth to this day. So yeah, to be honest, like the beginning of my demonology practice, it was all about Astaroth, and then it was about Marvis, and then it was about Boone. So yeah, Lucifer was always kind of there, you know, he had his place, but active work that I did with Lucifer wasn't really a thing. So, and what I found with Lucifer was I found it very difficult to connect with him kind of on demand. It felt like when I sought out connection with him, it was more difficult. However, when he came to me, it was a lot more intense and a lot more kind of a successful connection, if you like. So what I found with Lucifer is that when I let him come to me, it's a lot easier. And that's not me saying like don't put the work in and like, you know, let him come to you kind of thing. Of course I do actively reach out as well. But I find that he presents himself when necessary, if that makes sense. I also don't think he's the one to go to with mundane things. I mean, you can, I just don't know how far you'll kind of get with that. Like my work with Lucifer is purely for gnosis. I have done some protection work with Lucifer as well. But yeah, you know, I don't ask Lucifer for anything apart from, you know, his guidance, his wisdom. And in fact, I think for a long time I really avoided Lucifer, massively so. And it's interesting to think, I don't know, to kind of question why, right? Because I think it was an inferiority complex thing. I think it was like, no, I'm not really like there yet, I'm not ready yet, I'm not good enough, basically, which is just not true. You know, I've always been ready for it. I think it's interesting because when we contrast Lucifer with, for example, Belial's a lot more not challenging to work with. Maybe challenging is the right word, because his energy is super intense and it can be very scary the first time you actually do work with him. So I knew it wasn't a case of being scared of Lucifer, because Lucifer's energy isn't scary to me. The first time I felt Lucifer, I didn't feel scared. The first time I felt Belial, I felt fucking scared. So it was kind of like in my head, I was like, well, if I can cope with working with a notoriously not scary demon, scary is the wrong word, but let's just say like emotionally challenging demon, then, you know, what's the reservation about working with Lucifer? And it was definitely like this inferiority complex thing. I just felt like I wasn't good enough. I was like, but you know, why would I be good enough to work with Belial but not with Lucifer, or to work with Astaroth and not Lilith? So, you know, it's we develop these illusions in our craft, and I think, you know, being on the left-hand path, it is primarily about working through those illusions, about working through the bullshit that we tell ourselves, because we are probably our biggest deceivers as well as our biggest obstacles. Like, I can't tell you like the amount of times I felt like I'm not being answered, or I'm not getting answers from the spirits I'm trying to work with, but I'm the one standing in the way. And something else I really struggled with as well was this idea that I had sort of near the beginning of my practice. It was like, well, if I'm going to work with Lucifer, I have to like do it perfectly. And perfectionism in one's practice is just, you know, gonna hold you back. It's held me back massively. So I think one of the main things that Lucifer taught me was like, let go of the fucking perfectionism, man. You know, it's not got to be perfect the first time. And I think in December I decided, because I kept, Belial and Astaroth in particular kept telling me to work with Lucifer more. They're like, need to do this more, need to do this more. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go fully in the deep end then. If you think I need to work with him more, I'm going to work with him every single day for a month. And I started doing that in December. And my idea was that, you know, in those 30 days, I was going to, you know, really develop my relationship with Lucifer, right? But by the third day, Lucifer kind of just said to me, like, why are you doing this and what are you trying to prove? Because the thing is, it's like, do you actually want to be doing this? Because you're kind of calling me up here and expecting something and not really asking for anything in particular at all. You're just sort of calling me up for the sake of it. Like, this really is this whole sort of idea that you've got in your head about working with me for 30 days every day. It's just something you've sort of made up. It's a construct you've made up and you're being really perfectionistic about it. And then I thought about it and I was just like, yeah, you know, it really is just for the sake of it. Like, I haven't determined a goal here. It was just because I was told to work with Lucifer more, and I was kind of like, well, what do I need to work with him for? But I ended up doing a working with him, which was sort of like a solar working, and that was really cool. And then it was kind of just sort of left there, and I didn't experience any kind of like negative repercussions or anything like that, because I think people think like, okay, if you say you're going to do something, you need to follow through with it. But when you say you're going to do something, you've got to think about where your will is in that, where your motive is in doing that, right? Because it might not be in the right place. Because if it's coming from a defective place, like for example with me, it was with my perfectionism, it's not going to have the result that you want it to have. But now I want to talk a little bit, I've spoken about my sort of personal obstacles and reservations about working with Lucifer. Now I want to talk about what it's actually like. What does it feel like to work with Lucifer? And who is Lucifer? So I probably should have started with that, but you know, we're going in this order. So Lucifer is very multifaceted. He's not specifically one thing. A piece of literature I really like is The Rites of Lucifer. I believe it's by Temple of Ascending Flame, and it talks about basically all the deific masks of Lucifer. How, you know, he is the Prince of Air, the devil at the witch's sabbat, and you know, all of the, you know, the fallen angel, who was once an archangel, and yeah, it goes into all of that. So there are several aspects of Lucifer that you can access, and you can work with them for different things. There is a very specific image of Lucifer out there, and it's definitely the way in which he's presented to me, the way in which I've seen him, with a very kind of pale face, almost like a translucent sort of face. And he kind of looks, I don't really know how to describe it, like it's not the classic Hollywood demonic depiction of Lucifer at all, and it's not even really his archangel form either, because I feel like in his archangel form he's pictured as like, I mean, it's really hypersexualized a lot of the time, like when, you know, people do artwork of demons, both like male and female demons, they like always give them like really big muscles or really big tits and, you know, stuff like that. But like Lucifer's depicted as this, you know, really muscular man with these luscious blonde hair, and I haven't seen him like that personally. The way he's shown himself to me is very sort of like pale face, very kind of long figure, and yeah, kind of like translucent skin. So that's the way I've experienced Lucifer. The first time I experienced Lucifer, I was sitting in my back garden, and I don't know how I knew it was Lucifer. I kind of just did, and I just felt this really intense feeling, this really intense surge of energy and this really intense presence, like kind of right in front of me. And obviously when things present themselves to you, you question who they are and what they are, right? And when they answer you, you can either take that as gospel or question it. And I would lean more towards questioning it, because we know that tricksters are a thing, and we know that tricksters can present very convincingly. So, but I decided for whatever reason to trust at that time, and I trusted that it was Lucifer. And then I later had that feeling again a few months later, and then kind of like again, and then it increased more and more each time. It wasn't a scary feeling, it was slightly overwhelming, just because of that initial kind of surge of energy. But yeah, it wasn't scary. There have been times where he has caught me off guard very unexpectedly, and I've felt his energy fill the room. I've been like, holy fucking shit. So yeah, he has presented by surprise. Other times he's had a much more calmer approach, but most of the time when I've had the most intense and successful connections I've had with Lucifer is when he's presented himself to me. But I think that that can be a little bit of a trap for us to rely on that rather than seek him out ourselves. So I think there needs to be a balance there. Allow him to come to you, be open to him coming to you, but also do your own reaching out as well. So I thought I would read a little bit of like personal gnosis that I've got from Lucifer when I was working with him back in December, because that's kind of like my recent most thorough work with Lucifer. So this work is not meant to be a chore. You're not a rookie, you don't need to act like one. Nurture this relationship over time. It can't be rushed. And that's when I stopped. When I stopped working with Lucifer on those, you know, in that consecutive manner that I wanted to. I just stopped trying to fucking rush things. You know, why do you want 5 years worth of growth in a working relationship in 30 days? Something people forget in the left-hand path is their autonomy. You are not a slave. There is no need for submission. Freedom and liberation always. Be sure you are demonstrating this on your path. How are you separated and how are you in union and contributing? Embody the sun and its creation and destruction. So I think a lot of my work with Lucifer has been based around kind of uncovering my true will, finding my autonomy, and freeing myself from slavery, essentially, the self-imposed slavery. So that kind of sums up my work with Lucifer so far. I'm sure I'm going to have more to add onto it in the future. I think Lucifer is an excellent guide for all of us on the left-hand path. I do think he should be integrated into everyone's practice on the left-hand path. I think he is a key to knowledge, wisdom, illumination. And the thing is about Lucifer as well is how much he will aid your demonology practice, because it's kind of like, if you're good with Lucifer, you're kind of going to be good with the other demons too. So that is why Lucifer is so relevant and important on our paths. So I'm going to leave this video here today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please share down below your own experiences with Lucifer. I'll be very interested to hear those. So I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.